Hi, I'm Allison Bishens of Allison Bishens Consulting, and I wanted to share with you some tips for this really crazy time. This time can be scary, it can be hard, it can be challenging, and it is okay to grieve. It is okay to slow down. It is okay to feel freaked out. But when you're done with those feelings, I think it's really healthy to think about how we can use this opportunity to build up a stronger foundation for ourselves, our careers, and our businesses. So I wanted to share a few tips today, some tips for employees and some tips for business owners in terms of what we can think about doing during this really bizarre time to build that foundation. So if you are an employee and you are working from home or you're still working in your office, if you have a small office, you can find efficient systems to make your day easier. You can carve out a dedicated work from home nook or desk. And one of the keys to having a really productive space at home, I have found as someone who's worked from home for a very long time, is to keep it clean, which is not always intuitive, but just to make sure that everything has a space and everything has a home that it goes back to. If you've never read the book, The Life Changing Magic of Tidying Up, this is an awesome time to read it because this is a time when a lot of us are at home and really thinking about how our spaces serve us. So if you have an opportunity to read that book, I highly recommend it because it'll help with your workspace as well. If you have downtime, you can use it to get a certificate or build a new skill, like on Skillshare, which is free for 2 months if you have a friend with a link. Lynda, Lynda, is free through your library, and Coursera has free courses as well. You can update your LinkedIn page with recent skills and accomplishments. You can make sure even that your Facebook page is properly linked to your employer. A lot of people have like really old employers on their Facebook pages, and I encourage people to keep it updated. You can support local businesses by ordering takeout or delivery, by reviewing them online, which means on Google, on Facebook, on Yelp, or you can buy gift certificates for future use. So those of you who have consistent salaries right now, you're in a really unusual position in that you might not be making a ton of money, but you are in a really privileged position compared to a lot of people right now. And so if you have a little bit of flexibility in your budget, finding ways to support local businesses, that would be really awesome. And then if you don't have room in your budget, doing things like sharing about businesses online, sharing about who's open or delivering, and doing those online reviews, those are ways to share and help without actually having to make a purchase. I also encourage you to read an inspirational book or listen to one. Hoopla and Overdrive are free through your local library. You have to have a library card, and if you don't have one now, I'm not sure that you can get one, but oftentimes you can have a friend lend it to you. You can also get books through Audible. One of my favorite books that I recommend to a lot of people is called The Subtle Art of Not Giving Up. Fuck. I'm not sure if I can say that on here. And it's a great book because it's not actually about not giving a bleep. It's about how you can give so many bleeps about what you're doing that it's really easy to say yes or no to opportunities. So those were tips for employees. If you own a business, I have a couple more tips. One is to critically review your marketing strategy, especially your social media marketing. This is what I do. I help businesses craft a social media marketing strategy that doesn't take a ton of time. You can use this opportunity to improve how you're showing up online and how you're showing up for your community, which is a big through line in a lot of the work that I do. I'm offering 70% off all of my social media marketing workshops and tutorials and online workbooks using code support at AllisonBishens.com. And I'm doing that through the end of the month. But for Pioneer Collective members, that will be true through April 15th. The next thing that you can do is get your finances in order. If you're using QuickBooks or Wave, you can work on your auto categorizations to make it easier for when things pick back up. You can reconcile your finances, which is a big thing that a lot of people don't do. You can spend time writing content like blog posts, captions, or newsletter for future posting. You can keep a running list of content ideas so that when you do have downtime, you know what you need to be working on. You can use this opportunity to try a project that you were too scared to try or too busy to try, like creating an online course, hosting a webinar, or reaching out to potential collaborators. You can, again, support other local businesses by sharing about them on social media or switching to local buying. So if you were buying all of your products from Staples, but there's an office store that's still selling products right now and doing free delivery, switching to that company will really help boost the local economy. One thing that I really encourage everyone to do right now that owns a business or that manages a business is to take the actual time to write a mission statement for your business and then make sure that all of the current work that you're doing supports that mission statement. Along with that, you can do a sustainability audit of your business and look at where your waste is generated and where you could be doing better. You can either do that on your own or you can do it with a consultant. There are two local to Tacoma, Seattle sustainability firms that are owned by women of color that I can highly recommend. One is called Paradoxum Consulting, and the other is called Blue Daisy, Daisy with an I Consulting. And they both do different types of sustainability audits. So if you need some assistance, I would go talk to them. And then think about what business practices you can let go of, what broken systems you can ditch, and what business partnerships aren't feeling good these days. And actually see if you can spend some time with those feelings and with your intuition and listening to the kinds of projects that you want to be working on right now and into the future. And then for everyone, whether you're an employee or an employer, I have a couple of other tips that are more sort of self-oriented, but will help you maintain your sanity when it comes to business and work. The first one and the big one is to get out into nature. So you can go hiking, you could start a garden, you could get back into flower photography if that's something that you're into. It helps with sleep, it helps you calm down. It's really kind of a cure-all. I mean, I don't literally mean that, but it really does help with so many different things. So if you have the opportunity to get outside or walk your dog or go try and take like an isolated hike, these are great opportunities to do that. Take care of your mental health. If you can't get to see your normal provider, there are sliding scale virtual visits that you can access. So look those up. Practice self-care that normally would feel extravagant, whether it's reading or yoga or taking a CBD bath or meditating or just actually going to sleep at 9 p.m. For me, that even just means allowing myself to watch more TV than normal because, these days are really long and I have two kids at home and it can be really challenging. So I sometimes just need that zone out. Volunteer. You can volunteer online. You can reach out to a local organization that you like and ask them if they need content written or if they need help with their digital strategy or if they need a new, graphic design help while you're doing this. You could also do some volunteering. If you don't want to be in a space with a lot of other people, you can offer to do deliveries for your local food bank. And then the last thing is I would encourage you to check in on friends with chronic conditions, deployed spouses, and mental health issues because they might not be ready to ask for help, but they probably need it right now. So thank you for listening. And as I said at the beginning, take as much time as you need to breathe and to slow down and to get used to what could be a long time in this new normal. But then get started and create a really thorough to-do list of what you'd like to accomplish during this very weird time. So if you have any questions, you're welcome to reach out to me. It's AllisonBishins@gmail.com, ALLISONBISHINS at gmail.com. And I appreciate this opportunity to chat with you, and I hope that this helps. Bye.